welcome to this important session of Uncovering India. Congratulations, we are celebrating now 50 years of the Bangladesh Liberation War, and you had a very important role to play during the war in the Northern Front. So, we are here to discuss and talk to some of the war veterans who participated in the northern and the western sectors. As we all know, the entire focus of our operation was in the eastern sector, but a lot of action happened on the western and the northern front. And you were there in the Kashmir sector in Nagaon. So we would like you to first uh, take us back to the take us back to 50 years ago. How do you recollect the? How does it feel? 50 years have gone by. Does it still remain fresh in your memories?
Yeah, definitely. It is. We had participated there physically, and those days are still there, like a romantic dream. Because we won.
So you were just a young
So
officer then.
what happened that? Yeah. I just joined Amritsar in 1969 January, and in June we moved to Tangdar, Kashmir Tangdar sector, that is Titwal sector. There we were there till 71 March. We had gone to Gulmarg for an exercise, and from there, attack by infiltration. This is a practice exercise. From there, we were told to go and occupy the subsector of Nagaon, which is a part of 104 Brigade, but little away from the main defenses. So we went there in 1971 April, and we took over the defenses of Nagaon. Our role was defensive. We had to hold that sector, and by then, actually, those days the communication was not as good as today. Hardly there's any newspaper in the pickets. But we came to know something trickling in, that something happening in the East Bengal. Initially, we were not much interested. There's an internal matter. Things will get sorted out. But gradually, the intelligence reports and all started coming. The things are getting hot. And by about June, July, we were up in the op locations. The op locations mean that the mountain posts are then reinforced and more troops are sent there. Then we were having a defensive preparations, artillery moving in, the patrolling increased the intensity patrolling, then ambush. We're plugging the gaps. We're having a lot of movement of our neighboring troops and all. We're coordinating our defenses. So things are hotting up. And those days we were young, so war as a romantic, as far as the movie is concerned, is very romantic. But actually it is not. And we had trying to stock up our ammunitions and then getting ready, getting all the things mine laid and gaps are closed. We started developing the whole thing, whole defenses. And by October, we knew that balloon would go up anytime, and things were really bad. And we saw the hustle and bustle in the headquarters, visits by the senior officers. So we were also getting ready. So, well, by November, it became almost certain. And as you know, 3rd December, the balloon went up. So the point was that we were in defenses. We were having a defensive role. But we got sudden an order sometime on 4th of December that we have to raid the neighboring Pakistan post. The Pakistan post name was Thandapani. So in one night, the CEO, hats off to CEO Chengappa, he changed the defensive poise into offensive poise in over a night. And Delta Company was told to go and attack the first post. We were thrilled. Well, I saw these senior officers. They're they're serious because you know what happens in war. Nobody knows. But we are the young officers, 3-4 years service. We were jumping, we were saying, oh, why is it gloomy? We'll do something great. But I can now understand what was there in your mind, in their mind. But then at 5th, 6th night, around 11 o'clock, a Delta company rolled down. We were the young officers. We were platoon commanders. In the sense, we were 2IC of the company. So Delta company, I was not. The Bravo company was first given the task, and I was not part of Bravo company. I was part of Delta company. We were holding the defenses, and in fact, the Delta company was a little away that time from the main defenses. They were holding a pass, Nastachun pass. It's a very important pass. Anyway, so Delta company moved in, and it was. I remember still night. November, December, cold, total cold, and that Thandapani post was inside a groove. We got Kashmir has a lot of trees, jungle, and there was almost a maiden jungle where the post was. We rolled in, our company rolled in, and then by about 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, the success signal was given, and then we captured 3-4 Pakistani soldiers, and first success gave a very big, shabash to ourselves. And but after that, initially it was one. We were told to make one attack on the just for improve the defenses posture. But when it succeeded, the headquarters became more greedy, and they said, "Go on, roll on." So we carried on the pincer movement, but one column from the, and our operations was between the 9,000 to 11,500 feet, quite high, and that old in the month of December is very cold. But then our two columns, one went from the south, one went from the north, and we had a pincer movement we enclosed entire Pakistani defenses inside, and our two columns went and joined about 6-7 kilometers inside. Overall, we captured about 45 square kilometers. And in that one operation, which our company was involved, was infiltrating about 25 kilometers inside the Pakistan. That Tutmari, that is called Kaya Ball. We had to hold a pass, Brithwari Gali. Name of the pass was Brithwari Gali, so that we interdict Pakistani troops, don't allow them to come in, and we then clear. So we held a pass. We were supposed to hold a pass so that their convoy, their reinforcement, their troops, their ammunition, their logistics cannot come in. And then we held that, and thereafter we started. Then they become interdicted. They became isolated. That defenses of that Kaya Ball, and then they were also unnerved. And I don't know what happened. Having seen these Sardars, our two Sardar, 9 Battalion 9 Sikh, and they were just given. They just given, and our bole so nihar, such a very huge cry, battle cry, and they started withdrawing, and we started taking on the stiff fight at 2-3 places. One was very interesting, I must tell that. You know what happened, that there was a post called Three Pimple. Three Pimple was planned to be attacked at night 10 o'clock on 13th December. So all fire plan was done accordingly. Our company commander, Alpha Company Commander, Major Hardul Singh became Colonel later on. He was tasked to do that. Somehow they reached at 2 o'clock at that area, afternoon 2 o'clock, and attack was to be launched at 10 o'clock at night. So what he did, he didn't wait for the 10 o'clock, he just attacked at morning and daytime 2 o'clock, which is unheard. And they, those Pakistani soldiers were having tea, the tea times, typical tea time. And they're having bloody well tea. And the mortars were lying. They didn't even fit in the mortars. They said there is a surprise, but we don't know how it will come at 2 o'clock. There's something called surprise, but it is astonishing. they captured Major told. It's astonishing. We didn't believe you come at 2 o'clock. I tell though as a casualty of 2, 3, but we captured all of them. We captured 5 mortars. And CEO, when the success is given to the headquarters, oh, the man was CEO commanding officer was surprised. What are you doing there at 2 o'clock? So there was a funny thing in the war also. So anyway, we captured that. But I must tell another thing. One position we captured. In fact, when we captured the 3 people, the battle system says that enemy counterattacks. No, when you capture the enemy, then withdraws, then they form themselves up, again attacks you back so that you, but because initially you are not properly deployed. You've just got a new place, you don't know which side is north and south. It takes time for you to reorganize. So before one is reorganized, the attacking troop is reorganized, the enemy tries to counterattack and get the area back. So they counterattack. And these troops of the Alpha Company was by then depleted because there are 2, 3 places they had occupied. So when the counterattack came, commanding officer Chengappa, he lifted some troops from somewhere and he counterattacked the counterattacker. He attacked the attacking troops from the back. So they're sandwiched. It never happens in the war. It's a new thing we taught, we learned. And those Pakistani troops became sandwiched between the two. One from the front, those Alpha Company boys, another was Delta Company boys. They counterattacked them from behind. So it was a great job done by 9 Sikh, and this is the only battalion in the whole deep sector which captured 45 square kilometers. None of them could do it. No other battalion. There are 9 battalions in a division. Nobody could do it in Uri sector or in other sector. Only our battalion could do that. We set up a Pir Baba there. That is becoming now huge, what I call Tirth Yatra huya wo. People from Srinagar and Kashmir area, they go to Kawyabol to visit that Pir Baba. It has become a big religious pilgrim.
Now 50 years have passed, and the Indian Army after that has been involved in lot many other actions. More and more we are seeing the dynamics of conflict changing. We are more getting into sucked into low intensity conflict. Do you really foresee? Recently, we had an announcement. We saw in the newspapers that the country is preparing for 15-day war. But in current situation, do you really foresee conventional warfare, scope for conventional warfare?
Yes. Now the conventional war will come and be devastating. What is happening in the East Ladakh? The conventional. We are now holding eyeball to eyeball. Any day, if it breaks out, it will be physical war, and that is conventional war. Not conventional war will always remain. What is conventional war? There are 2 types of war. One is attack, one is defense. To attack, capture, and a defense to hold. And no defensive battle can be successful without attack. Because you are only sitting in your front, you will be kept in, you will be taken out and taken over. So if you have to have a good defense, you have to have a good attack. Unless you go forward, you will cave in. All defensive battle will have an attack. Why did you have attack in the Western Front when our policy, strategic policy was defensive? Unless you go ahead, you cannot defend yourself. Firstly, and the conventional war will be there, but the devastation will be 100 times more. Application of weapons will be much more devastating. Various other, now many things are coming into that conventional war, like cyber war. They will have a great effect on your war system, war mechanism. This conventional will never go, because unless you go and occupy the land, you cannot be you cannot win the war. Basically, an infantryman has to go and occupy a land to call it yours. If we have to go ahead across the China border, we have to physically go. These skirmishes and all, these are small things. This is nothing. And human civilization, human life has been long, hundreds of years. How can you say that from today that there will be no war? And greed is increasing. Greed is increasing in the human civilization. Now they see the greed. Everybody wants to have control over not only his country, whole world. Russia wants from one side, China wants from other side, America wants from other side, India also not thriving also, they must. So all these conflicting interests will not create a war. It will create a war. And war is going to be more devastating and more imminent. I'm telling you, within 20 years, you will find a big things happening. Look what is happening now. If we do not pull back each other, then there has to be a war. Ultimately, your policy is implemented on the ground by armed forces. What is the application of armed forces? The application is your national policy. If you want to do something against China, then or against Pakistan or against A, B, C, D, your army has to go work. And what will do? The army will do the insurgency? No. They'll have to go. There has to be conventional war. You cannot do, and it is not a one-day affair. It is a matter of decades, centuries. So I will be there. Will be there. I have got no. Why are you creating so much a big army? The Americans got 45 aircraft carrier. What are they doing? Why have they made so many? We have got only 1, 2, are trying to make 3. The naval chief said there should be 3. 3 is the minimum requirement. You have to, now your sphere of battle is going to increase. Now it is no longer within the boundary. There will be no vacuum. If you leave a place, somebody will come. If you can't take the other place, then somebody will take it. So it is there. Conventional will be there. But it will be more devastating. There are 17,000 nuclear weapons in the world. 17,000. Yesterday I only refreshed. Lest this question comes. 4,000. Russia has got 4,000 something. America has got about. Russia got 4,700. America got 4,500. About approximately. I may be a little wrong here and there. So 9,000 is there. Okay. So total about 16,000, 17,000 weapons. Just imagine 16,000 nuclear bombs are exploding. What will happen? This world will be nothing but few. They will be totally devastated. That is the situation. It is we are living under a very tense situation. We don't understand.
You hail from eastern sector. You were born in Dhaka, and you were fighting in the Kashmir front. Did you ever feel like going to Dhaka and participate in the war in the Eastern Front?
Must go. I still remember my house, how we left. We left at 4 o'clock in the morning, 1950, on my father's lap. And then, of course, we went in 1953 for 1 month. My grandmother was there. My grandmother didn't leave that house till he was alive. She said, it is my husband's property. Let anybody come. I will not go. And she was an iron lady. We had a Javindar there. She used to herself, as a widow, manage the Javindari. My parents had come back. My father came back. My chachu, uncles came back. They couldn't, they had their own compulsions, I suppose. They had to move out because they were threatened by our own people, those who are subjects.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your interaction. Thank you for taking time out to talk to Uncovering India. And we wish you all the best, and we hope and pray peace prevails in the world, because as you ask a soldier, he always says that war is never an answer to any problem, because who knows the impact of destruction more than a soldier himself. So we all hope and pray that peace prevails, better sense prevails.